we don't get that car back on the track, our sponsors are gonna shit a chicken. Now, is there anyone out there who wants to go fast? Anybody?
I want to go fast.
Hey, get him a suit. Hurry up, let's go. Hustle up, hustle up.
Remember what I used to tell you, son. Ain't first, you're last. Well, god dang it is. It's JACUZZI J, aka Ricky Bobby, and today I'm here with Big Rod and Slayer, and we're doing a review. I can't do it, I can't. See, I feel like I kind of neglect racing a little bit on this channel. I know it's very popular and so many people do it. There's a few people who want to get into it and there's a lot who hate it. But I enjoy it. JACUZZI J loves it. There's nothing better than driving 2.5 hours to Canberra where it's really cold to beat Henry. Again, it never gets old. So, to honour JACUZZI J's love of beating Henry, going fast and Talladega Nights, the ballad of Ricky Bobby, today's video is going to be a review on this here racing frame. Weapon of a racing frame. It is the Beeline Products Sendstorm Lite. I'll be honest with you, I don't do reviews on frames. I'm very bad at it, so I made my own, the JACUZZI. But this is the first frame I've used where I've actually liked it enough to bother making one of these. I love it so much that I feel like more people need to at least know about it or use it, because what it brings is, I underestimate it. Every time I go out to fly it, I underestimate how good it actually is, and it just passes my mind. So I feel like more people should know. So this is the video. Let's freaking go. God, get into it! It's honestly a super simple frame, and I think that's what makes it great. There's a lot of racing frames that overcomplicate things, making it heavier, harder to put together, harder to fix, harder to repair, harder to just maintain, and this thing just is so simple that it works perfectly. So, the carbon, we've got 6mm arms, truckloads, you don't need any more, and then simply 3 2mm plates, one for the top, middle, and then the brace plate at the bottom, and that's literally it for carbon. I've only broken one arm in the year or so I've actually been flying it, and I broke it around here, which is quite impressive because every other frame that I've broken arms on has broken next to the shoulder mount between the center plate and the arm itself. So it kind of shows that Dean's put some thought into the actual weak points of the frame and have made those weak points where it least affects the other components of the frame. This part's really neat. So the arms have this kind of like boomerang design where they butt up against each other in the middle. This helps with the twisting and super classic setup on the inside, really. You just got the 4 standoffs. One of the screws goes through the bottom plate, through the arm, through the brace plate and stuff, and then into one of the standoffs. Makes it super steady, super tough, and less hardware, which means lighter. Both of these are well and truly under 250 grams as is. That's insanely impressive for a frame that has held up in terms of durability this well. Like, I can go out there for a full day of flying at Canberra, crash a million times, and the last thing that's going through my mind as I'm walking over to pick up the pieces is the frame. I feel, I love T-motor, but I'm more worried about the motors breaking. I'm more worried about my ESC exploding than I am about the frame itself. And that's one thing that I've been missing from a lot of frames across the board, freestyle, racing, everything. So it's really nice. It gives you confidence knowing that the frame isn't gonna go. It's everything else that could, which kind of sucks, but it's nice knowing that something is staying strong. And durability doesn't stop there. Dean didn't skimp out on hardware. He's gone for 12.9 grade hardened steel hardware or whatever. Pretty much means if you bend a screw, you're an idiot. But if you're an absolute maniac, or if you are Henry and struggle to get through the gates, then Dean has on offer on his website some even tougher versions of these standoffs in an array of different heights. Alright, JACUZZI J is a simple man, I can assure you that. So a build that is as simple to put together and as simple to use an array of different components as possible is a thumbs up from your boy. I've had freestyle frames, race frames, where finding 3D printed parts has been the biggest pain in the ass in the world. Dean has available to print or buy a stupidly high array of 3D printed parts. Nano cam that's got a 1.7mm lens, has the run cam lens, there's a mount for foxeer lollipop micros, there's a mount for axi micros, there's a mount for SMA connectors, there's like 4 different types of fins. And if you are a pod kind of guy, which I know a lot of people are because it helps protect the stack and everything that's in the inside, they've got pods. And this one in particular was designed by Gilla Pete. So Dean is working with other folks in the community to help design and redefine all the parts for the Sendstorm, and he's constantly improving on it. So this is an example of that. Let me paint you a picture. Oops. Let me paint you a picture. You're racing. You crash. You go over to your quad and you found out that you've broken a battery strap. Now, apparently, on certain racing frames, that's a pain in the ass. On the Sendstorm, it's not a pain in the ass. Get it? No, I'm not going to mention any names, but apparently there are racing frames out there that make simple things like changing a battery strap awfully difficult. I didn't even realise this until Dean let me know, because why would I know? On the Sendstorm, for obvious reasons, there is clear space to put battery straps. You can even double up if you ever so desire. Any battery straps that are around that wide will fit, no problem, for that double strappage grippage. I think it's time to get a little bit technical with things now. So the Sendstorm Lite is a true X motor configuration. So the distance from the motor here to here and here to here is the same. Okay, that's covered. A few other racing frames have different types of motor geometry, let's call it. For example, the Scott Mode V69 Turbo S Plus. Now that runs what's called a stretch X configuration. So the motors from here to here are a bit narrower than they are from here to here. Now some people love that. Some people also fly squish X, which is the opposite. The motors at the front are a little bit wider than they are from front to back. So, you could tell my surprise when I go out to the field and fly the Sendstorm for the very first time. I'm worried. I've been flying stretch X forever. The Nimbus I had set up in stretch X. The Scott Mode V69 Turbo S Plus R Rally Spec Edition is stretch X. I fly this. Oh my god. So much better. It's as simple as having a slightly different geometry on your motors, and it changes the flight characteristics of the quad immensely. Immensely! I noticed my turns were tighter, I noticed the tuning ability was easier, I noticed that my stick inputs, it is blowing a gale outside. Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen? Jesus! Oh god! It was honestly so much better. I was flying around these soccer goals and I was just doing like figure eights, pretty much. And the turning ability of this True X versus stretch or squish was just so much nicer and so much easier to control. I felt that I had so much more authority over all axes rather than maybe even adjusting my rates, which I had done at one stage to sort of make the pitch and the roll axis feel similar, whereas now I was able to have the exact same input on my pitch, on my roll, on my yaw, and everything felt perfect. I honestly don't know what else there is to say about the thing. If you're in Australia, I cannot see why you'd possibly look past this for a racing frame. Heck, even like one of those high-speed chase or long-range quads, being so light and having the ability to print all these different mounts, I think you could use this for nearly everything. But for racing in particular, it absolutely tees it up and knocks it out of the freaking park. So I think there's only one thing left for me to do, and that's to give you a discount code. Now, JACUZZI J loves bickies. What does he love more than bickies? He loves flat bickies. And with this, the Sendstorm Lite, JACUZZI J has been able to go flat bickies non-stop all the time, baked to perfection. So, for you, the viewers, if you want to grab yourself a Sendstorm Lite, or anything from Beeline products for that matter, use discount code FLATBICKIES at checkout and you'll get 6.9% off your order. It's not much, but it's humble work. The discount code FLATBICKIES will be available until Friday this week. So this is being put out on a Monday, so the Friday after this, in 5 days, is when the discount will end. So in any of that time, if you want to grab one, flat bickies at checkout for 6.9% off. I hope you like the frame. If you decide to get one, make sure you use that discount code. Treat yourself to a 6.9% discount and treat yourself to what is, I believe, the best racing frame in all of Australia. And some say in the world. That was terrible. I'll leave you with one thing. There's only one problem with it. I think it can go just a little bit faster. Stay tuned. And stay stoked, baby! Yeah! You can send it, flat bickies! Ricky Bobby style! Yeah! Yes! I wanna go fast! Woo! Hell yeah! Good God. I need a drink.